It started with a sudden escalation in the Middle East. Within days, global shipping lanes froze, energy prices skyrocketed, and the stock market took a dive.
World War III was no longer a theoretical debate. It was actively dismantling the global economic system in real time.
6 months later, two friends facing the exact same global crisis are living in two completely different financial realities.
Mark ignored the macro warning signs, left himself exposed to high-interest debt, and panicked when the markets turned.
Alex took proactive, structured steps to insulate his portfolio and build a fortress around his personal balance sheet.
Today we break down the 4 critical choices that determined their fate and how you can prepare before it's too late.
Lesson 1. Liquidity is king when the grid stutters. In the first 72 hours, banking apps crashed and ATMs dried up.
Mark had 95% of his net worth tied up in speculative growth stocks and locked accounts. He couldn't access physical cash. When card terminals went offline, Mark couldn't even buy basic groceries or fuel for his family during the most critical week. Alex, on the other hand, had built an emergency physical cash reserve in small bills, 5s, 10s and 20s, kept safely at home. Because he didn't rely solely on digital infrastructure, Alex secured necessary supplies effortlessly while chaos unfolded around him. He also parked short-term savings into liquid treasury bills, keeping his capital safe and immediately accessible. In a geopolitical crisis, immediate purchasing power matters far more than paper net worth.
Lesson 2. Hedging the inflation wave. As energy routes choked, oil soared, causing immediate price spikes across every consumer sector.
Mark's portfolio was full of tech companies reliant on global supply chains and cheap credit. His stocks crashed as living expenses doubled. Desperate for cash to cover rising bills, Mark sold his investments near the bottom,
I have to stop the bleeding.
cementing massive permanent losses. Alex had allocated a portion of his assets to energy commodities, gold and inflation-protected securities long before the crisis. Gold preserved his capital against currency devaluation, while his commodity position surged alongside energy costs. The gains from Alex's inflation hedges directly offset his higher cost of living, keeping his overall wealth completely neutral. When inflation strikes, holding the right real assets is the difference between sliding backward and staying afloat. Lesson 3. Eliminating variable debt. Inflation forced central banks to raise interest rates, turning consumer debt into a trap. Mark was carrying variable credit card balances and an adjustable rate loan. His monthly interest payments surged overnight. Between inflated living costs and rising loan payments, Mark was losing thousands of dollars every month just paying off interest. Alex had made debt elimination his top priority years earlier. He paid off high-interest cards and locked in a fixed mortgage. Because his housing cost was fixed and he had zero consumer debt, Alex's monthly overhead remained completely predictable. While Mark scrambled to avoid default, Alex enjoyed psychological peace of mind, free from debt pressure. Controlling your liabilities before a crisis is the most underrated financial defense strategy in existence. Lesson 4. Capitalizing on discounted assets. As the initial war panic stabilized, the markets began charting a new course.
Mark was forced to work overtime just to keep up with his debt obligations, leaving him zero capital to invest.
He watched from the sidelines as world-class defense, healthcare, and staple companies traded at historic discounts. Alex, backed by his cash cushion and high-performing hedges, began buying premier assets at pennies on the dollar.
By buying strong companies during widespread panic, Alex laid the groundwork for generational wealth over the following decade.
He wasn't just surviving the conflict, his disciplined preparation turned a global crisis into his greatest financial milestone.
The contrast couldn't be clearer. Panic creates victims, but preparation creates resilience.
Geopolitical disruptions don't give advance warning. The financial moves you make today dictate your security tomorrow. Audit your balance sheet, secure cash reserves, eliminate interest debt, and position yourself to weather any storm. If you found this comparison valuable, hit the like button, subscribe for more macro analyses, and stay prepared.